Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Donley Miller coming back at you, and I just got back from my very first full-time business analyst interview. Yes, the first interview that I actually done for a full-time position in the IT field as a business analyst. And oh boy, it was super exciting. And so I wanted to really make sure I was prepared for this interview. So I've been working with like a career coach that kind of helps me with my resume and practicing interviewing. And it turns out that yesterday I did a mock interview, went through like 12 different questions that would be potentially related to a data or business analyst position. And I was told that I pretty much knocked that mock interview out of the park. So I was super excited about that. And of course, today was the big day. Went into the interview and was really confident. And of course, there's always going to be a little bit of nervousness. I mean, that's to be expected. Interviews can be a really nerve-wracking thing. And so I'm not going to give details about it, but I will say, as far as like difficulty level, I would say it was about average. I mean, it wasn't difficult, it wasn't easy, but it was, a good solid average. And surprisingly, I was actually expecting a lot more technical questions, but there really weren't too many, because one of the key skills that seemed to be highlighted was like SQL. And SQL happens to be like one of my favorite things to do, whether people consider it a programming language or not. Regardless, it's one of my favorite things to do. I don't know what it is about it, but I just enjoy doing it. And so I was expecting to be bombarded like with a bunch of like SQL interview questions. Like examples might be like, say like easier ones might be like, what is SQL? Or what is a database management system? Or what is a relational database management system? Or what is the difference between using the keywords distinct versus in? Or what would you use, or what would a query look like if you want to say retrieve all records where the first name begins with the letter B? Or let's see, what else? What are the different types of joins? And give an example of each of the different kinds of joins. Like you've got the inner join, you've got the right join, left join, full outer join, natural join, cross join. Or what is normalization? What are the different types of normalization? And let's see, what are some other ones? What's the difference between using truncate and delete, and being able to answer like, okay, well, truncate is a DDL statement and delete's like a DML statement, and knowing which one is quicker than the other, knowing about indexing, what are triggers, what are window functions. I mean, like I was gearing up for like a super technical SQL interview, but it was pretty simple as far as like the technical aspects of it went. But it is what it is. But after the interview, there's always like that, oh, what could have I done better? It's like, so I just kind of had to decompress for a good hour and a half. I'd say closer to an hour and a half, just like thinking, okay, what could have I possibly done better? Or what if I did this? Or what if I did that? It's like, I am putting a lot of pressure on myself, given that I do hold high expectations for myself, and that it would be a dream of mine right now to land a job, especially one that involves using SQL, creating dashboards, doing any kind of data analytics, and just being able to really kind of go in there and just pick up new skills. It's like build upon my current skills. It's something that's just super mentally stimulating. So, I mean, it is a tough job market out there. So I guess when someone does land a job, I mean, I can only imagine that, especially like for someone in my situation, landing a job might be like the equivalent of like kicking the winning field goal in like an NFL game, or like crossing the finish line in first place, like in a Tour de France stage. I mean, like that's how big I'm sure getting a job in your desired career field can be. I mean, it's like, I always would ask myself, God, what must it be like to be like an NFL player, like having hundreds or thousands of people cheer at you, and then, scoring the winning touchdown or scoring the field goal? What must it be like to like, hit a home run or be the first one to cross the finish line? Well, I guess I will find out when I land my first job, because I'm sure the feelings are going to be pretty identical, especially considering like this, like the obstacles I've had to overcome and like that I continue to face. But so the interview, I felt pretty good about it, but we'll see. Now is a waiting game, and supposedly I'm waiting to hear back from a recruiter about a potential interview for maybe sometime next week, and I'm sure that one's probably going to be a little more technical based on the job description. They mentioned like SQL, MySQL or MySQL, depending on how you want to pronounce it, Java, and I think there was something else in it. So I'm sure there's probably going to be, I'm assuming there's definitely going to be SQL interview questions along with programming interview questions. And so, yeah, it's pretty exciting. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I was just like, okay, I was like, here I am really making sure that I prep for the SQL interview questions, and I was probably definitely over preparing, but hey, it doesn't hurt, and it provides a good way to review if you haven't used a lot of those functions, because if you're not doing it on the job, or if you're just doing SQL like on projects on your own, or maybe you're taking a class on it, yeah, you can become really good at it, but to really become proficient at it and to really remember every single fine detail about the different functionalities and different types of clauses, yeah, it helps to be doing it on the job on a day-to-day basis. And I learned firsthand experience through my internship that really the best way to learn a new skill, whether it's completely from scratch, is just to kind of throw yourself into the fire and just learn the skill, be resourceful, troubleshoot, problem solve. And that's what my internship taught me, was like, even if I don't know a particular software or technology, my internship taught me, it pretty much taught me the ability to really reinforce the fact that, hey, I know how to be resourceful and know how to problem solve and figure out how I can teach myself things without having to rely too much on other teammates or team members, because, everyone's got their project they're working on. And so you try to be resourceful, and then if you absolutely need help, then you can, go to other teammates. And at the same time, as I'm, looking for information or trying to answer a question myself, maybe I might find something that can be of help to the other teammate. So it's kind of like a two-way street. See, if I can become resourceful, then I could potentially be of a useful resource for other team members. So it kind of works both ways. So super exciting, but yeah, there's always that stress and that need to decompress after a big job interview, super huge job interview. So I figure now for the next couple of minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, I figure a good way to decompress is I'm going to do some self-roasting. It is time to self-roast myself. So, and I may have done a little bit of this in my last video, but okay. If you guys are new to my channel, well, a few years ago, I think it was back in 2014, I came up with this really pipe dreamish endeavor that I was going to compete in the Winter Olympic Games in alpine downhill ski racing for the country of Colombia. Well, obviously, that never came to fruition because, of course, financial issues and not really having a career established. And it's like, when I think about it, all these times I've been skiing at Stevens Pass, trying to get the first chairlift up Skyline Express or Armstrong Express at Alpental and skiing down the hill as fast as I can. That's not training for downhill ski racing. All I was simply doing was just being a French fry. That's all I was doing. I was just being a French fry on the ski hill. I mean, skiing straight down the mountain. I mean, pretty much anyone can do that. And I could almost be certain that if any of you out there wanted to take up skiing or snowboarding and just wanted to go fast, within a couple of days, you too out there could be going straight down the mountain at 60 or 70 miles an hour. I kid you not. All you gotta do is just make like French fry, ride those bases flat, maybe keep the edges in a little bit if you're a little bit of a fraidy cat, but you'll still go fast enough. So you've got like a fraidy cat French fry, which you kind of dig your edges in, and then you've got like the not so fraidy cat French fry where you ride the bases flat. And yeah, just doing like these touchdown Skyline Express, thinking that, oh yeah, I'm gonna one day be an Olympian even if I finish in dead last place. What was I thinking, guys? I mean, come on. I mean, to be a ski racer takes enormous strength. I don't even have remotely the strength it takes to become a downhill ski racer. I mean, those guys are like repping 300-pound squats. And I mean like repping, like they're maxing out like 400 or 500, maybe even 600 pounds. And it's like, I can't even do half that. It's like, and I'm going to be a freaking downhill ski racer? Yeah, right, buddy. Oh, gosh. And like all these French fry laps down Skyline Express at Stevens Pass. And it's like, that got me nowhere. And then like hitting the park, doing park laps and doing like these quail, Daffy Duck moves and spread eagles. And it's like, that's just like child's play, guys. It's like, that's not going to get me any results in ski racing. So yeah, I think it's time to put that pipe dreamish endeavor behind me and really focus on what's most important, and that is making sure I get myself a fun, fulfilling job. And if I can find one with SQL, doing SQL, all the better. Or any kind of programming, whether it's Java, JavaScript, Python, that's what I should be thinking about. Not making a bunch of French fries on the ski hill, because that's all I was doing, guys. I wasn't working on trying to compete in the Olympic Games. All I was doing was just making a bunch of French fries. And if I want to make a bunch of French fries, I'll just go fill out an application and send my resume to work at McDonald's. Then I can make the golden fries for the golden arches. So, yeah, I mean, maybe I can put that on my resume. Oh, yeah. If I send a resume to McDonald's, I can be like, yeah, I made a lot of French fries on a ski hill, and I was attempting to make those golden French fries to one day compete in a Winter Olympic Games. So maybe I got that to put in my resume. Oh, yeah, I just love roasting myself, and I felt like that was appropriate to roast myself when it comes to straight lining down the mountain, because that's not really much skill involved in that. That's not ski racing. Oh, yeah, that's all I was doing, guys. I was just being a French fry, or making lots of French fries. So when I say, what kind of skiing ability do I have? Well, I have the skiing ability to make lots of French fries, but couldn't make the golden kind. Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll keep you guys with further updates as to my career prospects and keep you guys filled in. Well, thank you all for watching. Take care, everyone, and peace out.